Okay, so all I've done is given myself some clean water and a fresh dry towel. And I want to now work on the leaves and try to give them as much variety and life as I can. I want to create some nice lively leaves if I can. So I'm putting a little underpainting down of some yellow. They have lovely shapes. Mostly the stalks are sort of a reddy colour, but in fact these are quite green, so I can pop those in just while I'm letting that soak in a bit. You can see what I'm doing up there. I'll just move that down. And I'm using the Windsor blue, red shade, and the Aureolin. They are quite a bright green, but they also have a little bit of alizarin going on in them, so I have to try for that. I've tried when I did the drawing to actually get quite a bit of variation in the shapes, which hopefully will make the picture nice and interesting. When you've got a lot of leaves and they're all similar, you've got to think of things like that to help you out. This hasn't got a very good point, this brush. Try this one. So while that's still damp, I'm going to drop a little bit more interest into this leaf. I don't necessarily feel I want to put lots of veining in or anything, but I'll just create a few marks that might indicate veining and some deeper colours for shadow. And I think doing that while it's still damp is going to be quite natural looking. Take a bit of light back off that one. Well, I never. There's another bud. So don't wash your colours away, keep your colours out in case you need them again, the way that I just did. Good. Right, let's try some more of these leaves. Don't know if you can see the leaves. There we go. Remember always that your colours are going to dry up lighter than when you apply them. Trying to keep light in those. They're going off out the page. This is all part of the main part of the plant. So keeping this shape going if I can. And this is going off at a tangent in the corner here, so keeping that lighter so that when the picture is looked at, this shape should appear first. I'm not following my pencil lines totally, I'm just using them as a guide. And again, I've not mixed a pool of colour. I've got my two colours out and I'm letting the colours mingle on the page. And I'm mixing varying tones as I go to try to keep the variety going. There's another flower there. I think I softened a bit too much with my blue tack, but that's quite nice. I'm going to put it in because it's looking out of the page. Keep a nice light one there. It's very easy when you've done a drawing like that that's very full and complicated to actually not get too confused by which is a leaf and which is a petal if you've softened it as much as I did. But as you work through, it will come together. It's a nice shape, that one. So I've worked that one very wet. Okay. So, shall I put some of those stalks in? I think so. That way you'll start getting the idea of how it can look. The stalks on these buds here seem to be quite green. So just using the point of my brush, and you can go back in with a little bit of a darker colour to pop a bit of shadow in. Point of that petal there is there. It always makes a difference when you start popping in the stalks. But that one's got a bit of colour going on, which is nice. But I mean, you can make it up and do what you feel looks right for your picture. You don't always have to follow exactly what you see in the plants. So there's a strong stalk here. It's lovely the way they twist and turn and bring all your flowers and leaves together. So a little bit of the Windsor blue on there to give it some depth just underneath. They do actually tend to get really quite deep in colour. Right. Be nice to have a nice strong stalk coming through to follow the picture, the eye through the picture. So try for that. Pop a little bit of colour into that one. I don't know if you'll all have Clematis to paint, but don't worry if you haven't. You can find something else, I'm sure, to fill your page with. And create a fuller picture this time. Creating a sort of bronzy effect in this one, because I do see some bronze going on in the live one. Just going to make some nice shapes at the edge here. Another bird. Helps to give a bit of balance there. I'm not going to be too fussy about the leaf that I see in the centre here, because I'm going to be popping background over there. Just need some colour and some shapes around these flowers, because I hope to get, I think, the background looking quite deep in there. Lots of leaf to deal with. Putting a light wash on this one to begin with because there's a stalk in front of it, which is an important aspect, so I don't want to do any more to that leaf until I've popped that stalk in. Right, let's see if I can deal with some of these stalks now. Very dark. So I'm going to go down with some green first. And it gets narrower towards the end there. So you need a brush with a good point on for something like this. It's nice to have a go at painting something that's trailing. And it's important to try and get a very nice composition so that it's trailing in a nice way to look at. So what you could do is, in your sketchbook, if you have a trailing plant that you can paint, just have a practice in your sketchbook to see what sort of shape would look right in your picture. It only needs to be, you know, something brief and a little thumbnail sketch to work out whether it's going to look good on your page. Right, so I think I've sorted some of those stalks out. Some here. Right, now I need to darken them a bit, so I don't know if I'll make a mix of something. Just darkened that alizarin with a little bit of the Payne's Grey out of my dark green mix, because it's towards the centre of the plant it's redder and it gets darker towards the end. Yeah, that's quite a decent colour. And this is the main one here. So you need a nice steady hand, just keep going. And then you can just darken it and deepen it just with the point of your brush. But that's going to make a difference. It's going to now help me to see where I'm going and the shape, the overall shape that I'm getting here. can obviously turn your book around. I can't really do that, but sometimes I need to do that, but I'm sort of moving myself around a little bit to get what I need here. It's always going to look darker from where the stalks come out from behind the plant, the leaves and things. So that's given quite a lot of strength to my whole thing at the moment. Right, now I want that to follow through, so I'm now going to put these in, but slightly lighter. Okay, right. Now they have some very pretty little leaves sitting on the little fuzzy ferny type leaves that don't have a lot of definition, sitting on the ends of these little stalks, so it's quite fun popping those on. Just dot them in, just get the idea of what they do. You don't have to copy them exactly. That's the thing that took my eye, the side, when it all sits and makes all these, creates all these lovely shapes. So nice when things start coming in the garden. We reckon that our garden is about 3 weeks behind this year. Not helpful. But then we're getting used to all sorts of different things this year, aren't we? It's just nothing really. Okay, so actually they do have a little bit of colour in them as well. good. Now, a few more leaves to do, and then I can start on the background. Just going to bring this leaf up a little bit more now. Can't really see what I've done here. I think I've rubbed it out with my arm a little bit. Something to be aware of. But as I say, I want the background to be doing its job here, so just need a bit of colour going on. I think the intention is to work negatively around some of these leaves with the background. It is kind of growing a little bit as I go along, but I have a sort of an idea in my head, which is always helpful. Right, a few more leaves here. Quite like that light one. Right. Good time to have a little look now and see what I've done. Try not to judge things too soon. Oh, 33 seconds left, so I'm going to stop and get ready for the next session. So another cup of tea, everyone.